Hey guys, Rex here, and today I'm here once again with my friend Duke,
Hello.
and today we've got something really awesome for you. So, recently Duke has been working on making massive sand piston doors, using some really cool mechanisms that he came up with. So what we did is we took that same technology and turned it into an elevator. So now Duke's going to give us a demo on this thing in action.
hmm so this elevator, the one we have right here, will go up 11 blocks, but it's also customizable, so it can go up any amount of blocks in between 11 and 1 if you wanted a one-block elevator. And the redstone is 20 high, 3 wide, and 6 long.
You can see as well that it automatically pushes you off when you get to the top, and even though it looks like it's going pretty slow, it's very fast for a sand elevator, and we'll explain why in the next segment. Okay, so before we move on to how to build this thing, I'm going to give you an overview of how the elevator works, because we've used some really cool mechanics in here that Duke came up with, and that both of us came up with, to get the elevator going as fast as possible and to make it really compact. So, first of all, it starts at the pressure plate, obviously. Now, the elevator only activates when you get off the pressure plate. So once I get on the pressure plate, you can see it's not doing anything, and then when I get off, it starts, pushing me up. So what we have here is we have basically these two pistons here act as a falling edge monostable circuit. So it'll basically pulse when we step off the pressure plate. And then it comes through here and goes into this comparator clock, which is really cool, and Duke used it in his massive piston door, his sand door. So if you will just step on the pressure plate, give me a little demonstration here, you can see that the pulse goes through the comparator clock. But the cool part is that every time it goes through, because there's two redstone here, it will lose one signal strength. So we use that to control exactly how many times this thing is going to push up. And yeah, that's really cool. And so we can come over here, you can see there's this repeater. This repeater is really important because it acts as a lock, and it locks the input from so you can't activate the elevator once it's already going, and that's important because if you activate it while it's going, it will break it and push the sand all over the place, and we don't want that. So that repeater is super important. It powers that piston so that we can't spam the elevator. And then the signal from the pulsing clock here goes up here into all this redstone right here, which basically powers this little mechanism right here. And this was also designed by Duke. So we've got a piston, a regular piston here facing up, a sticky piston here facing up, and a regular piston facing sideways. And you can see that what happens is the sand gets pulled down by the sticky piston, pushed across by the regular piston, and then up by the other regular piston. The timing is very strict to make sure that works at maximum speed, and the sticky piston is really cool. It was an idea, once again, by Duke, and it's awesome because normally in a sand elevator it would be a lot slower because you have to wait for the sand to fall down before you can push it across and up. But because
Mhm.
we've added this sticky piston, which pulls the sand down, it actually will make the sand be able to go down faster and therefore be able to go up faster as well. Very cool. And then basically the rest of this redstone only serves to, you can see there's another monostable circuit here. It serves to push all of these pistons once it's done, which will pull the sand from this column into that column like you saw before. And it will also push these top two pistons, which will push you out so you don't fall back down. And then over here, we have this little piston here that, oh, there we go, got some hitching. We have this piston which just updates the last piston so that it resets to its original position. But I think that's it for how this thing works, so let's get on to how to build it. So, in this chest are all the resources you're going to be needing to build this thing. So you're going to need 21 redstone dust, 3 torches, 8 redstone repeaters, 8 comparators, 2 redstone blocks, 17 stickies, 4 normal pistons, a hopper, a dropper, a pressure plate, and a whole bunch of blocks, and they have to be solid blocks, a whole bunch of half slabs, and 14 red set. Now this all assumes that you're going to be building the full-size 11 high elevator, so if you're not going to need more resources than this, basically.
Yeah, and then at the end, we'll also show you how to customize it if you want a smaller size. Okay, so to actually build the full version, sticky piston diagonally down from that with a redstone block on its face, and then an air block, oop, another sticky piston, and then a redstone block on that one too. Put a block out the side with a 2-tick repeater on that, going into a sticky piston facing upward, block on top of that, and a 3-tick repeater coming out of that. You want that to go into a block and 3 redstone out the back. Then off of this, place 6 blocks in like that, and this is going to be your comparator clock. So you can just put these in like this. This one will go into a block right there, and that one will go into redstone. So if you step on the pressure plate right now, oh wait, forgot an important thing. You need a piston there to update that because it's actually getting butted. So if you step on it now, this is going to fire the comparator clock and it will slowly diminish. Okay, out from this comparator clock, first let's just hook up this thing right here, which will lock this piston, and that way you won't be able to power it multiple times, basically breaking the system. Anyways, off of that, go up with a half slab into a block. Out from this block, you want to put a repeater into another block. And then on the side of this block, a torch, a block, a torch here, block there, repeater there, and block there. And this is the redstone that will power your engine. So off the side of this block, put a piston facing upward, a regular one. Oh, it's like glitched me in. Okay. And then on top of this repeater, sticky piston. And then off the side of this torch, a normal piston. And then right here, a normal piston. Can I get it? Facing upward, like that. So this will be the sand thing, like the engine basically. Alright, after that you can come beneath here and hook up this sticky piston by putting a repeater there and a redstone there. And now you can actually go ahead and test it by just placing some sand up here. And if you step on the pressure plate then off of it, and it does this, then you did it correctly. Alright, next we're going to set up all the pistons that will pull the sand back into place and push you out at the top. So you just want to stack up these pistons facing this direction all the way to the top of your elevator. And then put in 2 blocks here, solid blocks that will push you out at the top. Then down at the bottom here, we're going to take power from here out the side with a 4-tick repeater into a block with a torch on the side, block on top of that, repeater coming out of that into a block, and on top of this you want to put a dropper facing upward and a hopper on top of that. And inside the dropper you can place any old item. Oop, just one item in there. And then out the side of this you want a block with a comparator coming out of the dropper into a piston facing downward. Then out the side of this hopper, you want a comparator coming out of that into a block. On the side of this block, you want a repeater that goes into a block and 2 blocks like that. Redstone going into those. And then up the side here, you want to take some slabs and just do a slab staircase all the way up to the top, just like this. And this will power all of your sticky pistons. So you can just go all the way up with these. They're actually really annoying to place, but yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do it. And then just go ahead and put redstone on top of all of those. Oop, like that. Alright, next all you have to do is put the sand in and you will be done. So 1 there, 2 here, and then just pillar up with it all the way along the side to the top. And it should be all working.
So now you should be able to step on the pressure plate and it should push you right the way up.
And then at the top it should push you out.
Like so, and it should pull all the sand back into its original place so it's ready to launch you off again. But now I'm going to show you how to customize the height of the elevator so you don't always have to have it at this height. So as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of elevators built up here, and you can see that you can make the elevator any height from the original 11 here, we've got a 10 high here, and then all the way down to a 3 high here. And in theory you can go even smaller than 3, but that would be completely useless because then it wouldn't really be an elevator. So as Duke is demonstrating, it works with all these heights here, all of these work, but if you're going to make it a different height, other than the original 11 high one, you're going to have to make some modifications here. So let's go over to this one here, which I've marked out for a tutorial. And this one is 8 high. So what you're going to do is you're going to count the number of sand that is here, right? Aligned along the back wall here. So you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see we've got 8 there. And then you don't want to count these sandstone at the top, just the sand that you need. And when you've already built it to the right height, you should see that this redstone dust here should be on top of your piston, and just make sure that all these pistons extend when it runs, and you might have to replace the sand, but you're going to do some modifications. So here we go. You're going to take out this piston right here, this sticky piston. You're going to need to get rid of it if you're building it for a height other than the original 11 blocks. Then you're going to need to come down here, you're going to take out this block, and you're going to replace it with a comparator and put it on subtract mode. Very important, right click to put it on subtract mode. And this is what we're going to be using to alter the number of pulses that we give the elevator, because we're going to diminish the signal strength here, and then that will make this clock pulse a lower number of times. So you're just going to put a block here, redstone dust, block with a comparator, and then you can just place a hopper right like this. Now if you're more experienced with redstone, you can put whatever you want, but then you're going to check down in the description. We've got a little table there, and that's going to show you how many items you're going to need to put in per elevator height. So for this specific height, like I said, count the sand. That's your number that you're going to be looking for in the description. So this one is 8, so the number is a stack and 5 items that we're going to be putting in the hopper. And then as you can see, it's going to work perfectly here. And now, if you're more experienced with redstone, you want to use something like a cauldron, you can know that the formula for the signal strength here is 12 minus your elevator height here in sand. So that is how you modify the height of the elevator.
Alright, but that pretty much wraps it up very nicely. So yeah, thank you everybody so much for watching, and make sure to go check out Rex's channel, because he did an amazing job working on this with me. It was a very fun collab and a very fun project.
And my viewers, make sure you go check out Duke, because he has made some pretty awesome redstone creations himself, and he's doing a Let's Play too. So, and we're doing a series together. So make sure you go watch that drama.
Alright, well thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.